Another team here, Tennessee. So, Joe, Tennessee, for what it's worth, I know they went into Columbus and got blown out. But when I look at Tennessee, look, man, they made the playoffs. Now, they had a favorable schedule. They were able to overcome some things, and they made the playoff. But Dylan Sampson's no longer going to be there. And ironically, what's funny is now you saw a team who's going to have to figure out things at receiver. And if Nico could go on the road at a very hostile environment and win you a football game, if Tennessee's going to continue to have this success, what do they have to do to overcome some of these things? What does Tennessee have to do to get back to a playoff?
I think that this one is really, really simple because the bones of this team being really successful, I mean, it's there. They had a lot of depth on their defensive line, which is what they leaned on. They have a budding secondary, and I'm a big fan of Jermod McCoy. That kid is really, really talented for some of the plays that he was able to make this year in the SEC. Plain and simple, Nico needs to take the leap like Hendon Hooker did. Hendon Hooker showed us his first year where he stepped in and he was competing with Joe Milton, and he played a little bit that first year and finished the season as the starter. There are a lot of positives, but there was still some inconsistency. And a lot of people were kind of wondering, like, man, can Hendon Hooker be that guy? Can he be that guy that steps up and plays to his potential? He's this guy with this big arm. He's a good athlete. Could he go on to be a first-round pick if it all plays out? And if it wasn't for that injury at the end of the year, he was going to win the Heisman. And Tennessee might have gone to the college football playoff if they didn't lose steam at the end of the year because he took the step forward, because he learned how to play within the system better, and he was being tactilely aggressive. He knew how to be aggressive in the right ways to help his team succeed. Jalen Hyatt, who's a good player, hasn't done anything in the NFL, wins the Blitnikoff because Hendon Hooker sets him up to succeed. So as much talent as there could be
at
receiver,
scored 4 touchdowns versus Bama. Let's not
right. But like what I'm getting at here is that good quarterbacks tend to make good receivers appear to be great. Nico needs to take that step. Nico needs to and can take that step to being a premier quarterback in the country and to win a Heisman Trophy. I'm not saying he needs to win the Heisman, but he needs to live up to the potential. There's a lot of this year where we were hoping that he would get there, and it looked like in the first couple games when they were playing nobodies, but it didn't show up when they were playing the big dogs. He's got to take that step forward. That is the hugest thing for me, Blake.
I always find it ironic when coaches have one style of play, meaning Josh Heupel's was hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. To last year and this year, they wanted to slow everything down. They wanted to run the ball and play with defense or win games with defense. That shows me a lack of confidence that you have in quarterbacks. Now, we mentioned it about Nico. I mean, we mentioned about Joe Milton, right? Oh, Joe Milton, Joe Milton this, Joe Milton that. Nobody was willing to say the same thing about the trust factor that Heupel clearly has or doesn't have, or the lack thereof that he has in Nico. Receivers were not good enough. So it's not all on Nico.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's all on him, but I'm just...
Okay. I know. Hold on. They got to get better everywhere offensively. I thought they ran the ball moderately well with Dylan Sampson, and they can run the ball very well. The problem is, man, you got to get back to you. All this other BS that you were trying to do, go into the offseason, become yourself again. You're right. Hendon Hooker going down was very tragic. You got to a playoff this year, but you didn't get to the playoff this year by being yourself. You know, we talked about all year, Notre Dame. Why is Notre Dame not, why are they fumbling here and there? And why is this not looking right or whatever? They got away from being themselves. Stop trying to be something you're not. If Nico is your guy, then you go out there and you do what you got to do. I get it's what you had to do to win football games. It almost got you beat against Florida, and it sure as shit got you beat against Arkansas. It ultimately got you beat against Ohio State. Because if everybody wants to tell me, Joe, what did they start having success in? They come out in the second half, and everybody deleted these tweets on Twitter because they're like, oh, if Tennessee comes out here in the second half and they score, it's going to be a ball game here. Okay, cute. Joe, they wanted to run the football and play good defense when they're down 2 scores. I mean, like, you got away from being yourself. Here's the truth. Nico's footwork's got to get better. He's got to be a better decision maker. He does have the skills and the talent. Joey, he's a horrible decision maker. Horrible. I mean,
I also think that it's being overly coy too. It plays into it. And this is what I'm talking about. Is like it is one of the biggest detriments to a quarterback's improvement is when they're afraid to take chances. Bryce Young's a perfect example in the NFL. He was so timid, and then now he's just letting it all go, and he's playing great football.
When you're second in the SEC in drops, what's he supposed to do?
Oh, I'm sure that maybe played into it a little bit, but I think he's just young. This is why I'm not saying like Nico's the reason why they were bad. That's not the way I'm framing it. I think that Heupel, this is more on Heupel than it is on Nico. Let me reframe that a second here. Heupel needs to help him get there. It's on his shoulders for him developing, him improving. He's supposed to be this guy that gets the most out of these talented quarterbacks. That is what's supposed to be the biggest part here. And he hasn't had it since Hendon Hooker.
Well, I mean, you're also talking about a fifth-year quarterback. Speaking of experienced quarterbacks, like we talked about earlier, you're also talking about a fifth-year quarterback. I think they got to go back to being their